Welcome back to the Alternative Highest Podcast, the number one podcast in Southwestern Ontario. That is just a fact. Today's podcast is super special. Um, I was looking for a way to acknowledge men's mental health, and I talked about it, thought about it, and then I had a subscriber reach out and recommend a man. And within minutes of all of that happening, I had sent the guy a message. I left my phone number and I had a phone call. And this literally, the girl sent a message, the dude read a message, and then we jumped on a phone call. We were there for 30 minutes. And by the end of that phone call, I just knew that this guy was the guy. He, he's had to go. Trevor McLaughlin.
Yep.
How you doing, my guy?
Not too bad yourself.
I'm good. You're a man of of a wild story. You I don't even want to try to butcher by trying to explain. Just tell me who you are and we'll go into how you got to where you're at today as we go through the interview.
Yeah, so who I am, I'm 32. I'm still trying to figure out who I am.
Yeah.
I think we all are. It's a situation where who you were yesterday isn't who you are today. Who you are tomorrow isn't who you are today. It's
Oh, man.
you're constantly growing. The day that you decide that you're not growing as a person, you might want to take a step back and see why that's happening. I got to work alongside a lot of great people here in Chatham, Kent growing up. I When I was 20, I opened up my own tree company. Did that for 12 years. Throughout that time, I battled a lot with mental health, and yeah, moved away for a couple years, came back, and now I'm working as a dispatcher and kind of doing trees on the side, and then planning I would bike across Canada for men's mental health.
Okay. So the talk around mental health is that conversation. So in that time of the where you're 12 years in your company, that's when you had a real go with it, right?
It it's I started out early teens.
Yeah.
Is when I first started having depression. I The biggest thing was I kept on trying to find a purpose. As long as I had something to work towards, as long as I had a job to go to, as long as I had sports to play, those thoughts kind of got put on the back burner. I didn't have time to think about them. It was the times when I was away from that they would creep in. I found that the harder I worked in the sports and at work, the more exhausted I was when I got home, the less time I had to think. So I would start working 12, 16, 18-hour days. I would give it all I had. I'd go to the gym for 4 or 5 hours, work myself to exhaustion, go home, pass out, wake up, go back, do it all over again. In 2022, I had an opportunity to take a step back. I had some things going on in my life where I had finally reached my breaking point. I applied for MAID in Ontario. After a couple failed attempts growing up.
For people that don't understand what MAID is.
It's medically assistance in dying. It's a fail-safe, I saw. A couple failed attempts growing up. It seemed like it was more of a opportunity to not have there be any questions. The biggest thing for me is I didn't want the impact on the family to be like, okay, well, why did you do this? Have somebody find my body. That would have impacted more people than what I felt would be appropriate for myself. Being a burden to myself is one thing, being a burden on others and having them live with that for the rest of their life, I didn't want that to happen. So I wanted it to be my choice. and people still wouldn't understand. I still don't understand myself right now where I was at that time.
And I mean, it wasn't here in Ontario that you were even able to do that.
Yeah, so when I applied here in Ontario, they told me that it's only for terminally ill, due to it being just mental state. I wasn't able to apply, so I got denied here in Ontario.
Which,
Which then I received information on which if I went to Manitoba, I could apply for it without question. So in early 23, after selling out the business, I moved to Saskatchewan. Gave myself kind of the glimmer of light, kind of like the silver line to a cloud that, maybe I can make something work. Give myself one opportunity just to say, at least I tried.
mm-hmm.
So I gave myself a couple months. Tried a couple different jobs out. Found glimmers of happiness, but at the same time, I was living out of a camper. I didn't really have anybody around there. It was my own fault too. I refused to reach out. I didn't talk. I didn't do anything like that. And I tried to do it all by myself. I didn't want to burden anybody with what I was going through, because I know everybody goes through their own situations, and at the end of the day, everyone has their own fight. I wasn't going to add my fight to somebody else. So in December of 23, I reached out to a psychiatrist in Manitoba and got the paperwork started. In February of 24, on my 30th birthday, I got approved. So I gotta say, it was probably the happiest I was in years when I got approved. It was the end is coming, the pain is almost over, and it was probably the first time in quite a few years where I was able to sit back and relax. Through it all, I don't think personally, I never questioned it once. I was enjoying the happiness of knowing that it was almost over. There wasn't a regret to it. There wasn't a thought of, well, I can continue this happiness without this decision. It was, I made my decision. I got what I feel is right. And I was just embracing what the next few weeks had in store. I made sure to go enjoy a couple nights out, enjoy a couple more steak dinners, just enjoy life at that point. February 29th, and I still blame it on the fact that it was a leap year. I think if it wasn't a leap year, it wouldn't happen, but Manitoba changed legislature. So it matched the rest of Canada, where you couldn't voluntarily apply for MAID. The psychiatrist called me up and said that I had been removed from the list, and that they would look into it again in 2027, but until now, I wouldn't be able to be a part of the MAID program. So that it forced me to get my life back on track. So
it's I know how I can view it. I can say, dude, that was somebody telling you that you're needed here still, and that we need you, and the community needs you, but like in that moment for you, it was heartbreaking.
Devastating. It was. I still remember I sat down with the psychiatrist afterwards, and she asked me why I didn't want to do it myself, and I said because I know myself, I'd want to stop. There would still be that glimmer in the back of my mind saying, "Don't do this." When not 99% of myself just wanted the peace, that 1% would still try to say, "Just keep fighting it, just keep going." And at least I looked at it with applying for the program. It would have been once that needle goes in, it's done. I'd have milliseconds to regret it, but ultimately it wouldn't be in my hands anymore. So when I moved back to Ontario, I came back to be with family originally. I
What's the time span from Saskatchewan to Ontario? Like when you found out you can't, like, did you give yourself some time to?
I I had to fund my way back to Ontario. So in December of 23, when I decided that I was going to go through with it, I sold my dream truck. I drove it back for Christmas break and got rid of it. Bought myself a beater truck that would get me back out west. That was all I needed, was just to get back out west. Joke's on me, I'm still driving that truck. So it's become more of a get me out west is now I need it every day. So it's kind of I laugh at
Seems
it.
like a good truck.
So it's a decent truck. It's kind of clapped out, but you know it.
We like a clapped out truck.
Yep, yeah, it does the job. I can never guarantee if I'm going to get where I need to go or not. I keep the bike in the back of the truck in case I got to
Pedal somewhere.
pedal to my destination. But, you know, it's that little bit of unknowing the next step in life that kind of adds some excitement to it too. But aside from the truck doesn't matter. It's an item to me. The biggest thing for me now is I've gone to the point where I can find the good in every day. There's some days where it's shit. Like, there's some days where you just want to crawl underneath the covers and wake up tomorrow and hope it's a better day.
Yeah,
But
I get that.
you don't always have that option. You got to push through with whatever situation you're getting yourself into. And just look at the situation itself and go, you know, like right now it feels like the world's crashing. But if I were to take a step back and look at it from somebody else's point of view, does it sound like that big of a deal? My dad growing up would always say, is it going to matter in a week? Is it going to matter in a month? Or are you going to remember it in a year? If you're going to remember it in a year, okay. Either it's an important situation or you don't have your priorities set straight.
Smart man.
So I decided in January, well, I decided last summer I was going to do another bike ride.
Let's talk about that bike ride.
So the bike ride for me.
Okay, hold up 1 second.
All right.
Just to give a little context of another bike ride, you've already biked across Canada once.
Yeah, so back in 2013, I rode across Canada for Parkinson's awareness in honor of my grandfather.
And that was wild. That's all. It's a little bit of a bike ride.
It was
It's about 6,000 kilometers.
6,600. Yep.
Yep. I wanted to do it. I'm very jealous of you.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to strap onto a little trailer or something. Have you sitting it on this one, eh?
I think this next one, you know, and like I really would like to be a part of this somehow. I would love to help with the marketing. I would love to help with the how we get it out there. I would love to help. I don't want to talk anymore. I want you to tell what you're doing, why you're doing it.
So I appreciate that, and I'd love to have you on board with the entire process. It's obviously you have the outreach, you have the following, and you have your message that you're sending out, and I'd love to be able to help get your message across Canada as well as my message across Canada. So this bike ride that I'm doing, it's not so much the money being raised, it's not so much the kilometers being ridden, it's not even people knowing who I am. So my first bike ride, I chose Trevor's Ride for Parkinson's. I put my name right out in the front because I was 19 years old. I was naive. I wanted something to be mine. I wanted it to be, he's doing such a great thing. This time around, I chose it, Annihilate the Walls. Because I don't want it to be Trevor's doing this ride or Trevor's trying to get conversations going. I want it to be, hey, this guy is going out, starting conversations. I want somebody to go to the bar and tell everybody at the bar that he's the one that did that ride. I don't mind. I don't even care. Like somebody else can take the gloat out of it, the clout. if it gets conversation started, that's the end goal.
Yeah.
So out of the route that I'm taking, it's about 8,200 kilometers. I'm going to do Vancouver to Halifax, and then finish it off with the ride from Ottawa to Windsor, so I can finish in my backyard.
Hell yeah.
The last time I did this, I did Vancouver to Halifax, and then I did a short ride from London to Wallaceburg. That was great, but at the time, it didn't get the awareness out. There was glimpses of it, but I didn't give the ride enough time to build up. I didn't give enough heads up on anything. It was when social media was first coming around.
I was going to say, social media has jumped leaps and bounds in 13 years too. So
yeah,
it will be it'll be much different, this ride.
oh exactly.
And it's men's mental health.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going from something that affected a percentage of a population to something that affects everybody.
Mental health is so important. It's such a conversation that, growing up was pushed under the mat.
Yeah, put on the back burner, be strong, don't talk about your feelings, nobody cares, be a man.
A big supporter of therapy. I have clinical depression and anxiety, and terrible PTSD, and I really, alongside of you, push to have that conversation so we don't have men like ourselves wanting what we wanted.
Yeah.
Because that's a tough conversation. That's the worst conversation. That's the conversation we don't want to have. Is I wish I would have tried harder to help my friend get through his days. I've only just met you, and I couldn't imagine not knowing you. I really had to hold back when you were explaining like how much better it would have been and how happy you were when you were approved of MAID. I caught it. I understood you in that moment. But deep down, I was like, man, my shit really isn't that bad. If he was moving provinces to try and find happiness, and there's so many others like that.
Yeah.
That struggle day to day that can't even crawl out of bed. And I'm so proud of you. Like, the man you are today, what you're doing, what you stand for, it's magic, man. It's the laws changed in your favor for a reason that was unexplainable in the moment, but what you're doing today it's just so cool. I can't even imagine what your family must feel and the pride, and it's crying like a little baby right now. But yeah, whatever we can do as a community, we will definitely be there to back you up.
I appreciate that.
And what do you give? What piece of advice would you give to somebody that's sitting there that was you 4 years ago?
I think just come right out and say it. Like, if I know myself, if I didn't beat around the bush as much as I did, like, I used to reach out and ask people, hey, you want to go for a drink, or you want to go for a coffee? I didn't come right out and say, hey man, I need somebody to talk to. I tried to still stay strong through it. I didn't want to. I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to ask for the help. I always, if I seen an issue in my life, whether it be work, relationship, sports, whatever, it's okay. In my mind, how do I get better? How do I improve from this? It was never ask for help, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I don't think anybody truly knows how to ask for help, and that's been the biggest downslide in society right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is asking for help doesn't show that you're weak; it just shows that you can't do it alone. And
100%.
it would be like, say, a construction company. Yeah, the boss knows how to do the entire job, but if he knew how to do the entire job by himself, why isn't he doing it? It's because he needs help.
Mm-hmm.
If one person can't frame a house, even though one person knows how to frame a house, he needs help. In order to build something and in order to get something accomplished, help is always needed. It doesn't matter which aspect of life you look at. The reason why there's always more than one person getting a job done is because they ask for help. So we can't view ourselves as a project that we can do ourselves. We're always going to need a helping hand here and there.
Yeah. Well, couldn't agree more with you. It's the best thing that I ever did was start including everybody.
Yeah.
Because like yourself, I was a sad person, and I was always trying to just stay inside my own box. It was very eye-opening to hear your story today, and it's going to relate to a lot of people, and the fact that you came and told it so beautifully, I truly appreciate you. I'm glad you're here today. I'm glad we're going to be able to help with your project moving forward, and whatever piece of my network I can offer you to help with this, it's wide open to you, full access, and I just appreciate it. And before we sign off here, how can people get involved with your project of biking across Canada?
Yeah, so my ride is called Annihilate the Walls. You can find it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I try to post. The issue with social media is trying to keep that upbeat, happy-go-lucky aspect to it. Nobody wants to hear. I don't think anybody wants to hear a depressed guy saying he's going to bike across Canada. Everyone wants that eagerness to get it done. So the videos are a little bit spotty right now. I'm hoping as everything progresses more and more, the stress diminishes a little bit and I can actually get more content out there.
Yeah.
This here is the
Can you see that on camera? Perfect.
This here is the handle. I was able to work Annihilate the Wall. ATW Ride 2027 into my handle for TikTok, Instagram, and it's under Annihilate the Walls 2027 on Facebook.
Beautiful.
Yeah, just reach out, drop a comment, send a message, and
we'll drop your QR code on the back of it as well.
Sounds good.
Or on the podcast, but yeah. And we'll share it on all our socials.
The biggest thing out of this, like I said before, it doesn't come down to the money. It comes down to if they put the stats out next year and they say that there's been a significant drop in suicides in Canada, you know what? My mission is started. The first goal is complete. The less and less men that take their lives and the more that stay with their family and know that there's a network around them to fight for and to live for, that's the ultimate goal of this. Just have a conversation. One conversation can save a life.
100%. That's so much truth to that statement. Trevor, thank you so much. Truly, honestly appreciate you taking the time to come here today. All the love, man.
Me.
Daniel,